Shadows of the Forgotten, the banned book that rewrites our origins. Hook, the whisper from the abyss. Imagine a world where angels didn't just watch from the clouds. They crashed down like fallen stars, igniting forbidden fires in human souls. A world where giants roamed the earth, devouring civilizations in their shadow, and where the secrets of the stars were stolen from heaven itself, dooming us all to a flood of divine wrath. This isn't some fevered dream from a Hollywood blockbuster. It's the raw, unfiltered truth buried in an ancient manuscript that the powers that be fought to erase. For centuries, it slumbered in the dust of Ethiopian monasteries, whispered only by outcasts and mystics. They call it the Book of Enoch, the banned gospel of the damned, the key to humanity's hidden history. But why was it silenced? What celestial conspiracy did expose that terrified kings, priests, and empires? Tonight, we plunge into its veiled pages, where every verse drips with enigma, and the line between myth and memory blurs into oblivion. Buckle up, seeker of shadows. This is a story they never wanted you to hear. Long before the ink dried on the Bible's final scrolls, a rogue testament clawed its way from the ether, weaving a tapestry of celestial treason, illicit unions, and a primordial earth teetering on the brink of apocalypse. The Book of Enoch wasn't born in the sterile halls of Scripture. It erupted from the fevered visions of a man who walked with God and vanished without a trace. Once devoured by early mystics in hidden desert caves and candlelit synagogues, it was branded heresy, banished to the fringes of forgotten lore. But accidents don't bury texts for millennia. No, this erasure reeks of intent. What forbidden truths did it hoard? Whispers of exiled seraphim, gifting humanity the double-edged sword of godlike wisdom. Echoes of a Genesis twisted by otherworldly invaders? Or a chronicle of our species' true architects, beings who blurred the veil between flesh and flame? In this shadowed odyssey, we unearth Enoch's silent saga, probing why alone dares to claim. Your history is a lie. The real one hides in the stars. The Book of Enoch isn't one dusty relic. It's a trinity of enigmas, each a fractured mirror reflecting a cosmos more labyrinthine than we dare dream. When shadows murmur its name today, they invoke one Enoch, the primordial titan, oldest, densest, most intoxicating. Penned in the voice of Genesis' elusive patriarch, it unfurls like a cosmic fever dream, visions of deluge-drowned worlds, angelic uprisings, and secrets etched in starfire. But lurking in its wake are two Enoch, the Slavonic enigma, a Slavic specter from the Hellenistic haze, and three Enoch, the Hebrew hymn to heavenly thrones, birthed in medieval mysticism. These aren't sequels. They're spectral siblings, each forged in disparate fires. Egyptian exile, Byzantine intrigue, Merkaba meditations. Together, they form a forbidden triad, themes of ascension, an abyss threading to like veins of quicksilver. One Enoch reigns supreme, though, a 2,000-year-old vortex of apocalypse, where the veil rends and the divine bleeds into the dust. One Enoch masquerades as Enoch's own handiwork, a pre-flood prophet's fevered memoir, brimming with astral jaunts and angelic dispatches. Yet scholars, peering to the mists of time, unmask it as pseudepigrapha, a cunning veil of falsehood, Greek roots twisting false inscription into a badge of ancient guile. In those bygone epics, scribes cloak their heresies in the robes of legends, lending ethereal weight to whispers of the wild. Enoch, a puppet for polymath phantoms, his voice a chorus of unseen scribes layering visions across centuries. Aramaic whispers from 300 BC mingle with Hebrew echoes by 100 BC, all preserved in Ethiopia's Guizi glyphs, the liturgical tongue of a church that defied Rome's razor. Here, in the highland of isolation, Enoch endures as canon, a sacred specter scorned by Judaism and Christianity alike. Why? Because it doesn't whisper platitudes. It screams of heavens cracked open, of knowledge that scorches the soul, carved into 5 shadowed spines. The Book of the Watchers, parables, astronomical codex, dream visions, and the epistle. One Enoch spirals like a descent into the divine underbelly. Each fragment, forged by faceless visionaries, knits a nightmare quilt. Enoch's odyssey through realms unseen, unveiling the flood's fetal horrors. Biblical Enoch flickers like a ghost in Genesis 5. A patriarch plucked from mortality, his 365-year vigil a solar sigil of cosmic kinship. He walked with God and was not The text teases, dodging death's dull drumbeat. Great-grandsire to Noah, kin to Methuselah's millennium-spanning shade, Enoch's brevity screams anomaly, a man who tasted eternity without the grave's kiss. Echoes ripple, Elijah's whirlwind rapture, a twin ascent hinting at select souls who pierce the firmament. From these embers, traditions blaze. Enoch as celestial scribe, prophet of penultimate, harbinger the veiled verdict. Early Christianity cradled this phantom. Jude's epistle, that New Testament thorn, quotes Enoch verbatim. Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment. A brazen nod to the watchers, where prophetic thunder rolls unchecked. Church fathers, Justin Martyr's defiant defenses, Irenaeus' inquisitive nods, Tertullian's fiery endorsements, Origen's labyrinthine lore wrestled its wings. Angelic anatomies, stellar symmetries, eschatological storms, Enoch fueled their flames. Yet by the 4th century's chill, councils convened like inquisitorial storms. Laodicea, 363 AD, Hippo, 393 AD, Carthage, 397 AD. They carved the canon with cold steel, excising Enoch like a tumor too tantalizing. Augustine's iron decree, angels incorporeal, couldn't consort with clay. The sons of God, mere set-height sinners, not stellar seducers. Thus, Enoch's exile. From pulpit to perdition, a millennium of midnight murmurs in Ethiopian enclaves. But oblivion's grip slipped. Renaissance whispers. Pico del Miranda's pilfered pages in 1480s Italy. Guillaume Postal's 1550s Ethiopian echoes stirred the scholarly storm. Ethiopia's hermetic haven. Christianity's cradle untouched by Roman rot. Hoarded Enoch like a dragon's gem. Isolated by Axumite walls and Abyssinian veils, it evaded the council's cull. Enter James Bruce, 1773's audacious Scot. 3 greasy ghosts smuggled from Abyssinia's abyss to Oxford's vaults and France's forges. Lawrence's 1821 English exorcism cracked the code, unleashing translations into Teutonic, Latin, Gallic torrents. By 1900, Enoch haunted academia, a Rosetta of rabbinic riddles. Then 1947's thunder. Qumran's dead see crypts vomit Aramaic shards, 11 fragments from 200 BC, predating Christ by epochs. No forgery, no Ethiopian oddity. Enoch pulses as Judaism's jugular, veins feeding the scroll's sectarian surge. Here, in ink-faded fury, apocalyptic alchemy brews, a pre-Christian potion priming the Messiah's mythos. The Watcher's descent, angels in chains. Dive deeper, and Enoch's heart hemorrhages horror. The Book of the Watchers, chapters 1 to 36, a Genesis gone grotesque. 200 seraphim, iron, the sleepless sentinels, plummet to patrol primordial man. Guardians, not gods, observers, not paramours. Yet lust's lure twists their vigil. Samaya's siren call. We descend, we defy, we desire. Mount Hermon's mist-shrouded peak seals their Sabbath-shattering vow. Oaths etched in ether, binding heaven's elite to earth's embrace. Human brides bear Nephilim, titans of terror, bone-crushing colossi devouring herds, kin, cosmos itself. Violence vines like venom. Humanity's wail a warp in the warp. But the true treason? Forbidden fruit from the firmament. Azazel whispers metallurgy's malice. Swords that sever souls. Shemahaza spills sorcery's shadows. Enchantments ensnaring the sane. Armoros unveils exorcism's edge. Barakijo breeds astrology's abyss. These aren't gifts, they're geeses. Curses cloaked in cunning, accelerating ages into anarchy. What if this mirrors our own anomalies? The Antikythera enigma, that 2nd century BC bronze brain, gears gnashing eclipses with eerie prescience. Tech-eclipsing eras, absent until Renaissance's rebirth. Baghdad's batteries, Parthian pots pulsing primitive power, electroplating enigmas in vinegar's veil. Giza's galactic gaze, pyramids pinned to Orion's belt with starstruck precision. Whence this wisdom? Celestial crash course, or Enoch's echo. Divine backlash brews cataclysm. Archangel's avalanche. Uriel's flood forewarning to Noah, Raphael's rock tomb for Azazel and Duriel's dunes, Michael's manacle on the mutineers, Gabriel's genocide and the Nephilim spawn, Tartarus yawns, a Greek graph on Jewish gloom, abyss where titans thrashed, now chaining cherubim in carbon black chains, hell as hardware, angels as imprisonable, heresy that herded Enoch to heresy hunts. Genesis SX as cryptic sons of God swells to symphony here. Evil's ideology, not Adam's apple, but angelic insurrection. Human hubris, mere fallout from firmament's fracture. Theological dynamite, blame the stars, not the soil. No wonder rabbis recoiled, councils cauterized. Yet Enoch's Nephilim stalk global ghosts. Sumer's Anunnaki, sky lords seeding slaves. Greece's gigantomachy, got mortal mongrels mangling myths, Norse Jotun. Frost-forged fiends frostbiting fate, archetypal amnesia or ancestral alert. And the bones? Lompok's 1819 Leviathan, 12-foot frame, double dentition. Shelled sigils swallowed by soil at shamanic protest. Pennsylvania's 1870 Behemoth, 18-foot ivory, iron helm, 9-foot blade, mound mired at 12 feet deep. Mpumalonga's monolithic mummy, skull like a cavern, footprint fossilized at 3 feet. Peru's pinnacle phantoms, 12-foot silhouette sentinel on summits unscalable. Colorado's 2024 cliff clinger, 20-foot silhouette snared in snapshots, rock or remnant. Dismisses delusions, yet their chorus croons. We were here. We were them. What slumbers still in Earth's esophageal depths. Caves, catacombs, inner Earth's infernal ink. Parables of the pre-existent. The Son of Man's shadow throne. Ascend to the Book of Parables, 37-71, where symbols shatter into splendor. No rustic fables. These are scatological eclipses. Enoch exalted Empyrean, unveiling the elect one. Son of Man, pre-dawn deity, wisdom's womb since creation's cough. Hidden with the Lord of Spirits, he erupts Eshadin. Corrupt crowns crushed, shadows sovereign scourged, faithful forge and firmament's forge. Throne side the ancient, adored by eons. Echoes etching John's logos, gospel self-same Savior. His name before the sun, Enoch intones. Light to Leviathans, judge to the judged. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, faneuil flank his flare, celestial cabinet convening cosmic court. Judgment's jamboree, ledgers lacerated, ledgers laid bare, wicked whipped to wastelands, righteous rapture to radiance. Repentance's razor edge, mercy's midnight tolls before the throne's thunder. Pre-Christian prophecy, Enoch anticipates anointed's aura. Too prescient for Pharisee palates. Too Christ-like for canon crafters. Removed not for falsehood, but fidelity to a future too fiercely foretold. What if the sun stalks our skies still, veiled in vapor trails and Vedic visions? Celestial cipher, the astronomical abyss. Enoch's stellar spine, the astronomical book, unspools a 364-day solar skein. Season symphonic. Gates gate for sun solstice sprint. Moon's menstrual moods mapped with mystic math. Uriel's you are text. Purer than priestly lunacy. Wednesday's weekly dawn syncing with Genesis's glow. Astrology? Anathema, angelic arsenic, not astral art. Ancients attuned. Circadian coils coiling with cosmos. Pineal pulses praising photoperiods. Melatonin's modern mask on Enoch's eternal. Time not tyrant, but tutor. We fragment with frantic clocks. They flowed with firmament's flux. Gobekli Teep's 9600 BC glyphs. Yanaguni submerged spires. Pre-Paleolithic pulsars. Pulsing proofs of primordial prowess. Atlantis' allegory. Enoch's admonition. Hubris hurls havens to history's haze. Dreams in disguise. The animal apocalypse. Dream visions, 83-90. Dreamweave history's helix. Bovine atom birthing beasts of burden and betrayal. White bulls for blessed, black for blight. Sheep for Semites scattered by shepherd saboteurs. Exodus etched in ovine odyssey. Temples torture rams requiem. Maccabean maelstrom of Messiah's muster. 70 shepherds scourged for sheep slaughter. Final fleece a white bull's rebirth. All fauna fuse a purity's palate. Orwellian oracle avant la lettre. Power predation, providence's pivot. History? No happenstance. Enoch's ethical epic, mirroring macrocosm and micromyth. Big Bang's bang ignores the why. Enoch whispers, we are watched. We are woven. We await the weft. Epistles echo, weeks of the world wound. The epistle, 91 to 108, exhales exhortation. Methuselah's missive, morality's map. Light's lane versus shadow's snare. Apocalypse of weeks. Decadal epics etching epics. Righteousness root. Deluges drown. Abraham's ark. Mosaic mandate. Temple 70 AD Inferno. Week 7 Scar. 8's oppressors. Echoes and empires eternal. 9's nebula nears. Now's nexus. Corruption's cull. New heaven's nativity. 10th. Turmoil's tango to triumph. Enoch's endgame or our own. Lost leagues like Lemuria. Mu's sunken scrolls. Enoch's heirs. Heralding Huber's harvest. The Triad's twilight. 2 and 3 Enoch's veil visions. 2 Enoch's Slavonic shroud. 1st century AD, ascends Enoch through 10-tiered firmaments. Fiery forges, fate's folios, Melchizedek's maternity miracle, virgin-veiled angel annealed, priest perpetual, transition not terminus. Enoch's exalt as earth's eternal envoy. 3 Enoch's medieval Merkaba maze, 5th to 6th century Enoch, enthroned as Metatron, meta-angel, God's ghostly vizier. Thrones thundering, chariots churning, humanity's helix hinting at higher helixes. Cycle spiral, rise, rupture, renewal, Atlantis' Asha axiom for eons. Enoch's arc, problem, watchers wound, to panacea, remnants radiance. Thread through time. Enoch, Melchizedek, Metatron, humanity's hidden high priests. The great banishment, why the silence? Exile's ideology, Jewish jars jettison Aramaic anomalies. Pre-Mosaic murmurs unfit for Torah's tone. Christianity's chaos coalesced. Jude's quote-acquaint quirk, but council's carved clarity from confusion. Pseudepigrapha's phantom authorship. Content's chaos. Watchers wantonness warping Augustine's angels. Enoch's autonomy undermining altar's aegis. Direct divine dial. Dismantles dogma's dominion. Or darker. Too true? Nephilim's nexus. Knowledge's kleptocracy. Gaps glued. Queries quelled. Inclusion? It inverts inception. Salvation scaffold on stellar sin. The enigma endures. The Book of Enoch. Myth's mausoleum or memory's matrix. Dismissed by daylight. Devoured by dusk. Key to Kabbalah's core. Eschatology's ember. Historians hail its hinge on heaven's door. Heretics hear history's howl. Does it blueprint our becoming or beckon to breaking? If its shadows stir your soul, murmur in the comments. What Enoch's secret scorches you most? Like if you defy the decree, share to shatter the silence. For full phantasmagoria, the Enoch epic unexpurgated. Dive into the movie that mirrors the manuscript. Minds ajar, mysteries await. What lurks in your lineage's lore? The stars are watching.